Yes, people, welcome back to the channel, man. Hey, this is the stream I've been dreading. I've been dreading this stream since the weekend. I had an early night on Saturday, but I'm here now. Yesterday I was busy, but today's the day, man. Today's the day where I get my cooking, and we're gonna get a couple of people. They're gonna be draining. They're gonna be draining to cook, man. You know what I mean? Like a few people
You are not muted, right?
to get their pound of flesh at Arsenal. So yeah, but it's dark. You get me? It's a mad thing,
I'll
bro.
be
But
right back, my brother, man. Daddy duties right
yeah,
now, man.
man.
My
No
little one
worries,
ain't gone
man.
to
No
sleep.
worries,
You
man.
lot, I'll be back on. Just I'm here though. I'm
Yeah,
here. I'm gonna mute my mic.
yeah, yeah. No, it's calm, man. Say nothing,
Cool,
bro.
bro.
But yeah, man. And you know what we'll do? We'll let it be a slow cook, man. You never wanna get into things just too quickly. Like, let me even change this background. Like, what's this background about? Like, this is the transfer show. Like, what you dealing with, Bridget? There it is, man. The propaganda machine, man. Even switch off that banner as well, man. Messing with us, man. But yeah, people, bad. So we've had a interesting week of football. Couple of teams held L's, two to be precise. Couple of them won, one drew. And yeah, I think it's only right, it's fitting to start with Bournemouth 3, Liverpool 2. I feel like that's the game that we all want to start with, because right now Liverpool, they're sort of going through, I don't know what we call it. What would we call it? We call this a crisis. I would actually call this a crisis on Liverpool's behalf, because I believe they were 13 games undefeated. I believe. I think it was 13 games. They were doing all right. They thought, yes, we could do one, two things. I even saw one, two Liverpool fans. Oh, if we beat Arsenal, if we beat this team, we're gonna be in the title race. We can still win the league. Well, I think it's safe to say that that ship has well and truly sailed, as Arsenal are on 50 points with 15 games to go and Liverpool are 14 points behind. So they're going to need a 5-game swing. These men can't even win 5 games in a row. They only won 5 games in a row on the first game of the season, and I don't think they've achieved that feat ever again. Right now, if we look at their record, they've got 4 points from their last 5 games, 4 draws, and 1 defeat. And they play against Newcastle next. So they got Newcastle, then they got Manchester City. So for Liverpool, this has been probably one of the worst title defenses in living memory. They're currently 6th in the league. That is abysmal. Liverpool in 6th. What a shambles. Manchester United and Chelsea have now overtaken Liverpool. Fulham. If Fulham beat Man United and Liverpool lose to Newcastle, Liverpool could easily drop to 7th. And then we even go down the table. And that loss to Newcastle would also mean Newcastle overtakes Liverpool. So that goes down to 8th. And then if Brentford win the game against Villa, which is probably a bit unlikely, then they could be as low down as 9th. You see where I'm going, people? So right now, Liverpool, they are only 3 points with 23 games into the season, bear in mind. They're only 3 points ahead of Sunderland, who are in 11th, Everton, who are in 10th, Brentford 8th, Newcastle 9th. This is where Liverpool sit in the table. Fulham 2 points behind Liverpool. And when we look at the game, because we always have to actually take these deep delves and see why Liverpool are losing all these games and dropping these points. So, first, but not last, we got to go to Virgil van Dijk, the captain, the skipper. This is the man that is tasked with retaining the Premier League for Liverpool. This is the man that a lot of people have said this is the best centre back in the world. And from what I remember rightly, I don't ever remember a season in which a centre back that's been dubbed the best centre back in the world has been languishing in sixth position in their respective league. You're gonna have to tell me because I don't really remember any of the Man United centre backs being classed as the best, but I don't remember Man United under Fergie finishing even fourth. I don't remember them ever finishing fourth. Third was probably their lowest. It's usually a 1, 2, or the occasional 3. You had the Italian centre backs. They wouldn't have finished sixth. Cannavaro, Maldini. Obviously, he played left back, but he could play centre. But I didn't remember this. Sergio Ramos at Real Madrid. Puyol at Barcelona. I don't remember these so-called best in the world centre backs languishing in sixth position. This Liverpool side, they've got no excuses. Who's even injured? Alexander Isak? Can we even class that as an injury? Because when he was fit, the boy only had 2 goals. So we X that off the list. Who's there right back? Connor Bradley? Are we really going to say, because Connor Bradley is injured, Virgil van Dijk is dropping stinker after stinker? They blamed Konate. They blamed the boy Konate. That's what they did. But I don't remember seeing Konate against Bournemouth. Don't know if you guys let me know if he played. I'm going to quickly look it up while I'm talking. But I don't seem to remember Konate playing. He might have played, but let's take a look. It was Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez come off after 34 minutes for Wataru Endo. Okay, so it weren't Konate because I heard a lot of people blaming Konate for Van Dijk dropping absolute stinkers. Now, people, if you were watching that game, you would have saw a ball go over the top for a Bournemouth winger. And then what happened next? Van Dijk can go and collect the ball. No problem. Van Dijk, go collect that ball. Why aren't you collecting the ball? Van Dijk, for some reason, or Van Disney, as the streets call him, he refused to collect the ball. The winger puts it across 1-0 to Bournemouth.
Van Dickhead.
Van Dickhead, rude boy. Man's just there, like, watching. I don't know what he was on. He's on some joke thing. The second goal, I think it was a cross. Another pathetic goal. Liverpool, pathetic. Again and again and again. Every week, pathetic defending. I don't know what they're defending, but it's not their Premier League title. That is for sure. They're not defending their Premier League title. They're not defending their box. And they're not defending Jurgen Klopp's honor. That is for sure.
Moving like a newly promoted side.
This is what I'm saying. And they're only 3 points above the newly promoted side. So you wouldn't be mistaken if you thought Liverpool was a newly promoted side, not a champion. And then again, we look at their defensive record. So Liverpool's conceded 32 goals. Bear in mind, Man United conceded 34. And we've laughed at Man United all season under Amorim. Like, they conceded 4 at home to Bournemouth. But Liverpool's only conceded 2 more goals than Manchester United. Conceded the same goals as Fulham, Brentford. I'm even going down. Oh my God. Tottenham. Let's look at this. Tottenham Hotspurs have conceded less goals than Liverpool. This is a madness. This is a madness. Yeah. Nottingham Forest in 17th. Only 2 more goals than Liverpool. So they can't defend. They scored 35 goals. Not the worst. Similar amount to Villa. Man United's even scored more goals than Liverpool. Brentford scored the same. It's a madness. So this Liverpool, they've had one of the worst seasons I can remember. And there's a lot of people to blame. Arne Slot, they want him gone. Van Dijk, he's been twerking. He's been doing a madness all season. People actually tried to put him in team of the seasons at the start. Like I'm blind. Like I didn't see him get cooked on day 1 against Bournemouth when it was 4-2. Like, you people mad. You people trying to gaslight me. Same way you gaslight me about this Verts guy. Verts again. Oh, Verts is finding form. Where was he this game? I saw the maddest pass from Florian Wirtz. If you saw this pass, oh, it wasn't the corner flag. He thought he must have saw his teammate on the corner flag. It was a hot, hey, shambles, man. The midfield is not midfielding. Gravenberch, like, he's looking on Alex Scott and them man's level. Alex Scott, flipping. Who else is in the Bournemouth midfield of Alex Scott and them, man? Flipping. But I don't even know. But I'm telling you now, Bournemouth had a field day and they were well deserved winners. Liverpool tried to pull it back to 2-2, but I bottled it last minute. They done at Arsenal. 2 sides bottled it and lost 3-2 this weekend. But we had to start with the first one. We had to start with these Liverpool dons because, boy, hey, this is actually the defending champion. So, boy, we can't let that slide, man. We can't let that slide, man. It's a shambles, bruv. Shambles, man. But, yeah, man. Big up to Bournemouth, though, because they're struggling. They've been struggling. Like, their backline was decimated. Now they've just lost their top goal scorer. Still scoring, though. You got Evan Nelson. You got Krupi. There's a few men over there that they can probably fill in the gap that Semenyo left. So, although Bournemouth are in about 15th at the moment, I don't know. They're actually 13th. So why someone say 15th? Maybe the win took them up. So they would have been 15th before the win. Okay, fair play. So Bournemouth, they've gone up the table. They're in 13th now. So I don't see no danger of relegation. 10 points away from the magic 40. West Ham, 10 points away from them. So, yeah, man. Bournemouth, they'll be good. They'll be good. Areola, he'll get the boys firing. I have no doubts about that. They just went through a little rough spell. There's a few teams even going through it. You got Crystal Palace in 15th. A few teams that have gone through a little spell. But yeah, man, I just thought we'd begin with Liverpool. We'd give people more time to jump on the stream. You know what I mean? Just so that obviously Arsenal, they can get there they can get their cooking that they deserve, man. I ain't gonna hide, man. I ain't gonna be like one of these people that only show their face for the good times. Because I believe you gotta be there in the good times and the bad times. You always have to be there in the good times and the bad times, man. Football's not just about winning. If it was, we'd go support Bayern Munich or PSG because they just run their league. It's a farmers thing, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's sort of it for Liverpool. That's just the start. We'll, as we were speaking about Crystal Palace, we'll go into that Crystal Palace game against Chelsea. So, Chelsea actually smashed up Crystal Palace 3-1. They just beat them up. Crystal Palace are not Crystal Palacing. They're not palacing. They're in a palace, but it's like a broken palace. This palace, they've been on a horrendous run of form. It has been quite bad. I'd have to see it. Even just looking from the last 5 games, they've lost 3 and drawn 2. I remember at the start of the season, I feel like it was just before Arsenal played Crystal Palace. There was a narrative coming into it. Crystal Palace, I think they just lost the game before to Everton, but they were coming into that game hot form. I feel like they were like third, fourth in the table. They were doing their thing, Crystal Palace, they were. But whatever happened in the summer has had an effect. Eze left, Gehi's now left, Mateta won't leave. Wharton looks like he just agreed a deal to go to Liverpool. So Munoz, he might even be gone soon. Who knows? Man United need a right back. He plays in a back five, but I'm sure he could do a right back job. So they might literally get decimated. Mateta, Mateta wants to leave 15th place Crystal Palace to go to join 17th place Nottingham Forest. Now, to me, this could only be about the money. This could only be about the bread and the butters. Because there's no way Jean Philippe Mateta should be going to Nottingham Forest. Yes, they're a bigger club, a lot bigger club than Crystal Palace. But when you've been linked to Aston Villa on the up in third position and Juventus, who you might be able to take them further up the league if you continue this form from last season, why would you be wanting to go to Nottingham Forest, who are banging a relegation battle? It's literally between them and West Ham who get relegated. If I'm looking correct. Oh, actually. Let me not lie. Ooh. But they're closer to the teams on top of them than I thought. But West Ham are only 5 points away from Nottingham Forest. So, yeah, man. I don't know why you'd go there. But maybe it's because they're playing in Europe, Europa League. Mateta's in the Conference League with Palace. But do any of us think Nottingham Forest are going to win the Europa League? For what? How? Like how? I don't. Well, maybe if they finish 17th this season, we saw last season a team that finished 17th went on to win the Europa League. So maybe if they finish 17th in the league, they might win the Europa League. Who knows? Might be worth a fiver, but I don't really see it happening. But yeah, I was watching this game. I was watching a bit of this Chelsea game. I caught up on some of the highlights, but once again, Jean-Philippe Mateta, one-on-one, one-on-one with Robert Sanchez. Bav, that's one of the easiest one-on-ones you'll have because you have so much. Like, the goalie's on his line. He's on his line. You're on the edge of the 6-yard box. All you gotta do is pick a corner. That's all you have to do. It's not bloody hard. These men are training every day, bruv. You're training every day. You must be able to pick a corner. But for some reason, he's kicked it straight at the goalie. Is his head in the right place? I don't know. But with Mateta, we don't actually know what type of striker he is. Because last season, he was on fire. This season, not so much. He bagged the hat-trick. But ever since that hat-trick, he's not been hat-tricking. So we don't actually know if Mateta is a donkey or a good player. Because last season could be seen as a one-season wonder. We've seen numerous players in the Premier League be one-season wonders. Chris Wood last season, 19 goals. He averages 10 a season. So last season, he was a one-season wonder. Solanke at Bournemouth scored 19 goals in a season. Once again, one-season wonder. He's moved to Tottenham and he's not hit the same heights. So there's quite a lot of footballers that are one-season wonders. And I actually think Mateta's a one-season wonder. I don't actually think he's that guy. I don't. Because he's not showed me, there's no evidence to show me he's more than
I
a
don't
one
think he's
season.
that guy either.
Yeah.
He
Like
had a spell at Crystal Palace, I think.
one season last year. But brother, 2 seasons ago, Zaha and them man was laughing at him. Like they was all laughing at him. Like he's all made his little interview. Oh, Zaha was laughing at me. Of course. Brother, you stank out the gaff. You had like 2 goals in 2 seasons. Of course Zaha was laughing at you. Why would you be offended? And now you seem like you've reverted back to type. You might be able to get 12 goals. Maybe. But is that the level? Is that the level? Because I don't think that's the level. I actually don't think that's the level, blood. But yeah, Crystal Palace anyway. I know we're slightly detouring. We'll come back to Chelsea, but they are linked with that Strand Larsen. Another one season. It wasn't even a wonder.
Yeah.
It was just a one season. Duh. He done something. He done something. You get me? Yeah, but he's saying though.
Like a decent performance for a season, yeah.
A respectable, you know what I mean? A respectable performance, bro. Like, it's nonsense, man. But yeah, man. We leave them, man,
You say
there.
not
And
even an Ivan Tony moment.
yeah, like, at least Ivan. We know Ivan came into the Premier League. Like, he'll get you 15 goals every season, bro. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
guaranteed.
yeah. Season in, season
Like,
out. Watkins. There's a few players that's kind of semi-consistent with it.
yeah, like,
Semi-consistent with it. Yeah.
they'll get you double digits, no problem. No problem. 20 GA. Like, they'll get you the 20 GA. No problem. Like, Mateta, this season, like, you know what? Like, he's not been too bad this season. But I just don't feel he's gonna be that guy at that next level. Like, I'm looking
Would
at
you
it
say
now.
has he even been stand out at Crystal Palace? Like, has the show been about Mateta? Forget the hat
No,
tricks. I think I've
yeah.
heard Munoz, Ismail Assar, Wharton. Like, these are names that
Eze.
hair. Do you get what I'm saying? Mateta finishes. Yeah, that's great.
Mm. Yeah, no, facts, bruv. I can't lie, bruv. I can't lie. You see Mateta, I don't know about him, innit? Like, he's on 8 goals at the moment, which is the fifth most in the league. Him, Bruno Guimaraes, that's mad. And Buemo, Jao Pedro, Welbeck, Ekitike. So he's not doing too bad. Maybe might be being a bit harsh, but I just feel that he got that hat trick. That hat trick without that is 5 goals. So we're 23 games in. He bagged the hat trick, so that skyrockets the numbers. That's probably like his first hat trick as well. That guy's not gonna score hat trick, so it's an anomaly. Like, look at Igor Thiago. My man's on 16 goals.
Bro, I think
Six.
Chris Wood is a better striker still.
Who knows, by he's more proven. That's a fact. He's definitely more proven.
Yeah, bro, come on. I swear that's who he's trying to go replace at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, basically. Because I
Bro,
think Chris was injured or something.
he's injured, innit? That's what I'm saying. When he's back from injury, yo. Anyway, yeah, man, they might 4-4-2 it still. But I swear that other, what's his name? Shade or what's
Maybe.
his
That's
name? There's
Sean
another
Dyche.
one that banged in the hat trick the other day.
What, for
No,
the
no, 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 no.
Forest?
Wrong team, wrong team, wrong team, wrong team,
Yeah.
wrong team, wrong team, wrong team, wrong team.
Yeah.
No, that was Brentford still. That's what's his
Ah,
name?
yeah, this Igor
That's one
Thiago.
you, Shade.
Or Shada.
No,
Shada.
not Thiago. Shade or Skade or something.
Yeah, Shada, yeah.
Or mixed race you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
Yeah,
he got
yeah.
like two,
Like
three
a little
goals in the
winger.
game.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does
yeah,
his
yeah.
thing as well. Like, he gets goals quietly. Brentford always find these
Yeah, yeah.
hidden gems.
I think he's a big game player for Brentford, if that makes sense. Not like big
Yeah,
game, you know what I mean? But for Brentford, I think he shines in like when it matters as well, man. I'm gonna mute my mic. Still
bro.
trying to
That's
put
what I'm saying.
little one to bed.
Brentford that Brentford that eighth, like, you know what I mean? Like, Brentford that eighth. They're doing better than when they had Mbeumo with Tony, all of them, man. Maybe it's the manager. I don't know. Maybe Thomas Frank was a fraud. Was he holding? I don't know. I don't think he is a fraud, but I don't know, bruv, because Brentford's lost a lot of their team and they're still doing good, but we've digressed. It's back to Chelsea. So Chelsea, they got the job done, man. The boy Esteval, he got his goal, man. He got his goal. I think he might have even got 2 goals, to be fair. Or did he get 2? Let me just double check this, man. Fact check myself. Because I know he got the first goal. And I know the third goal. I don't know if it was a penalty. Yeah, it was Enzo Fernandez. That's why I knew it was a penalty. Yeah, man. So Adam Wharton, he didn't do himself justice in this game. Red card. First red card for Crystal Palace. Esteval was a great goal, man. The way he took that, like, literally, they gave him the ball, but he had a long way to run. He had to run all that way, and the finish was class, man. It was a class finish from the boy Esteval. So, yeah, man. Big ups anyway. Big ups to Chelsea. Liam Rosinha. He's done what he needed to do. He done what he needed to do in this game. He got the win. Chelsea, fifth at the moment. It looks like we're gonna get 5 teams at the moment. So right now, he's achieving his objectives. And I was actually saying, I said it, Man U or Chelsea, one of them are gonna go on a mad run. I don't feel like both of them will, but I guess it's too early for either one of them for me to say this, but they've both won their last 2 games. So they both got 2 wins in a row. So who knows? And they got West Ham and Fulham next. So if they're able to make it 3 from 3 under new management, then you'd say, hmm, maybe they're just cooking at the wrong time for Liverpool. Because Liverpool got no wins in 5. So and they got Man City and Newcastle, so they might find themselves 5, 6 points behind the Man U's, the Chelsea's. So yeah, man, I don't know, bruv. This top four battle is very, very interesting and intriguing, to be fair. So yeah, man, we gon' see. We gon' see how it pans out. That's for sure. That is for damn sure. So we'll move on from Chelsea. We'll move on to Chelsea. Move on to Tottenham. I think we gotta move on to Tottenham. I would have liked Twist to be here, but we gotta move on to Tottenham. So they go away to Burnley. They go away to Burnley and bruv, they literally fall flat on their ass, mate. They literally fall flat on their ass because the Burnley lads, they had a mission. They had a mission, they had a task. And that task was to take points off Tottenham Hotspurs. Did they manage their task? Hell yeah, they managed their task. They managed it and they passed with flying colours. No problem with them. Tottenham actually took the lead in this game, which will probably be a surprise to some. Tottenham took the lead, but Burnley hit them with a left and then the right. 2-1. Tottenham managed to salvage something in the last minute. But the problem for Tottenham, I sound like a broken record. They're on 28 points. They're 8 points in front of West Ham. But the problem for Tottenham is the next 7 games. We go into February. I even want to get on the screen so you guys can see, just so you know what I'm talking about. Because you got to know what you're talking about. We go into it Sunday, the 1st of February. Tottenham Hotspurs take on Manchester City. They have beat Manchester City already this season, but you never know. Man City are the better side and could easily get the revenge. Both sides playing at the same time on Wednesday, tomorrow, in the Champions League. Both must win to get into the top 8. So that's going to be a tough game for both teams. I don't know. You'd favour City, but as Tottenham is their bogey side, you never know. Then they go away to Manchester United. Once again, I believe they won how many times? They won 4 times against Man United last season. Knocked them out of the League Cup. Not beat them in the final and won home and away in the league. But surely you'd say, we just saw Man United. You'd say surely Manchester United, if they play the way they've just played against Man City and Arsenal, Tottenham are in big trouble. Then they they play 3 days later against Newcastle. Another tough game. Another tough game. Will they win? Will they lose? We don't know. But None of those 3 games are guaranteed. Then I think there's a FA Cup game on the weekend. Then the week after, North London derby against Arsenal. So this February, it looks like Tottenham might be saying bon voyage to Thomas Frank. They might have to send him on his way. Maybe they send him on his way. Maybe they don't. Maybe he pulls a couple rabbits out the hat. But they do actually have three home games. So surely they can turn around this woeful home record, which I believe is 4 wins in 14 months. Surely they can at least get something. For me, if they can beat Man City, no problem. You can even beat Newcastle, no problem. But when you get to Arsenal, just make sure you lie down. But that's February for Thomas Frank and Tottenham. So, as Tottenham's literally, look at this. Oh my God. I didn't even notice. So, you just saw Tottenham's February. Look at it, January. They didn't win a single game. 3 draws and 2 losses. Jesus. So when's Tottenham's last win? Okay, Crystal Palace 28th. So Tottenham's only won 2 games since November. Jesus. Oh my days. Yeah, Tottenham is above. They're in horrendous form. Horrible. So November and January, no wins. December, 1 win. Or 2 wins. They just got 2 wins in December. That's it. Yeah, man. This is even worse than I thought. I think Thomas Frank is done. I think he's done. Yeah. They might even just allow him to play this game against in the Champions League. See if he can get them into the top 8 because he's doing a good job in the Champions League. But this league form, last season Tottenham was 17th. This season they're 14th, and as I've just said, that February is make or break for them. You go into March. March, you just never know what's even going to happen in March. But we might be looking at a world where Tottenham only win 2 games in the next 8. And that will put them, 14 points ahead of West Ham. So West Ham will have 8 games to catch them. If they can win 4 out of their next 8, then that will drag Tottenham into the relegation battle. They're okay for the time being, but we know how the Premier League is. Games come quick and fast, and sooner or later, we might end up seeing Tottenham in the relegation battle. They survived by the skin of their teeth last year. Whew. I think they're just about gonna survive by the skin of their teeth this year. Leeds, Palace, Forest. They might literally be in 17th by the end of the month. Bloody hell. This is dark. It's horrible times for Tottenham, man. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's gruesome. Gruesome, man. Horrible, bruv. But yeah, man. That's Tottenham for you, bruv. They never fail to disappoint. Before we go on to Arsenal, Manchester United, People, make sure we're smashing the like button. Make sure you're sharing the video. It helps with the algorithm. It helps keep us in the algorithm if you're sharing, smashing likes. That definitely is a help for the channel. So make sure you do it, man. Don't be strangers. But people, we move to Manchester City. So Manchester City, I don't even think I actually watched this game, you know. Man City. I literally didn't even watch this game. But between them and Villa, they're putting the pressure on Arsenal. They're putting a little bit of pressure on Arsenal. They've both closed the gap to 4 points. Villa, they won 1-0. Can't remember who they played. I was watching that game anyway. It was like Fulham or someone anyway. 1-0 game. Just got the job done. Who was it? Oh, 2-0 against Newcastle. Oh, yeah, 2-0. Yeah, it was a good away performance at St. James's Park. But both of these teams are putting a bit of pressure on Arsenal. But for Villa, I kind of feel sorry for them. They got horrible injuries at the wrong time. Like, this is the time of the season where, like, you're praying you don't get injuries, man. But McGinn, Kamara, and Tielemans, all three of them are injured. Now, that is definitely gonna have a ripple effect. But I feel Villa, if they're smart, they just dip into the market, man. I know they're looking at Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but I just feel like those three players, McGinn, Tielemans, and Kamara, they all offer something different. McGinn offer you a goal threat outside the box, inside the box. Tielemans offers that weight of pass, great delivery, the vision. Kamara, he's just someone, a physical presence. Someone that you know you're not going to be able to just run through and bully. So, with these three out the way, you'd think Onana will come in there. I don't really know. Like, I don't really know what other midfielders they got. Onana, you got the Rodgerses, but that's not really centre midfielders. These are more attacking players. Rodgers, Buendia, that. So I feel Aston Villa, they're in a bit of a pickle right now. But yeah, it's January. So if they're smart, they go into the market and they just pick up a centre midfielder. Just go and get one on loan. If it's Loftus-Cheek, you go get Loftus-Cheek. That's what you go and do. So, yeah, a lot of these teams chasing Arsenal, they got their own issues. They got their own issues to worry about. But Manchester City, I think it was 3-0 against Wolves. I don't think anyone ever. I didn't watch this game because I knew what was going to happen. There was no, oh, it was 2-0. You just, yeah, Semenyo, he got his goal. I think I even did see some of it, but what I'm saying, there's even a close game. Haaland, Foden on the bench. Like, it was a closer game. Like, City 11 shots, Wolves 11 shots. 4 shots on target to City to Wolves is 1. It just seems like one team was more clinical than the other. And that's all that happened. Well, you'd expect that because City are above and beyond Wolverhampton. Wolves are bottom. They've only got, what, 1 win this season. So, City, they got the job done. And yeah, they closed the gap. But I don't really want to go into that too long, man. There's not really much to talk about. Like I said, I didn't really watch that game. I watched the Villa game. They done well, but now they've had a lot of injuries. But I think it's main event time. And yeah, I've been stranded for the main event. I'm left alone. But it is what it is, people. You get me? Sometimes you gotta do these things, you get me? You gotta do these things. You gotta be your own voice of reason at times. So let's get into it. Manchester United 3, Arsenal 2. That was the big game of this weekend. The big game of the weekend. And if we're being honest there, Man United deserved the win. Like, let's just be honest. They played better than Arsenal. They were more threatening than Arsenal. And they got the win over Arsenal. But if we're going to look at it from an Arsenal point of view, so I'll look at it from an Arsenal point of view because Arsenal were the home team. Arsenal are the team that's meant to win. Arsenal are the team going for the league. So Arsenal are the team that should have took the initiative. The onus was on Arsenal to win this game. And when I'm watching the game, first 5 minutes or so, scrappy. No one really got their foot on the ball in that first 5 minutes. But it was after Arsenal eventually took the lead. After Arsenal took the lead, this is where fans' nervousness came into play. Mikel Arteta came into play. The players came into play. The pressure. The pressure came into play here because up until Manchester United scored, I'm not sure if the Bruno Fernandes chance was before that when Saliba slid in and took it off his toes. But they didn't really look like scoring. But after about 25 minutes when Arsenal scored, I don't know what happened, but Arsenal decided to not play football. They decided that they were going to just give the ball to Man United. They were just going to throw away possession of the ball and put themselves on the back foot. Now, this is exactly what happened. Zubimendi, he took it one step too far. He decided to put Mbeumo one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Saliba gave him a pass, but he didn't need to play that ball first time. He could have took a touch, got himself settled. He could have got his body positioning right, but he chose not to. He tried to go and play that ball first time. Plays it into Mbeumo. Mbeumo sits down Raya. Gabriel's trying to run across to block it, but 1-1. So, first half ends 1-1. Now, usually I put the stat Arsenal have scored the most goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half. So what that usually means is they're not playing the best in the first half, or the manager, the team have seen something, some form of weakness, vulnerability in their opponent that they are able to expose. Not today, buddy. Because when Arsenal came back out, nothing changed. Slow, lethargic, playing out from the back again, passing it between the defenders and the goalkeeper to the midfielder. This was honestly a quite pathetic performance. This was abysmal from Arsenal. I'll be honest. I haven't really even gone mad at Arsenal. But the more you think about it, the more time that passes and you actually think about this game, you actually think that Arsenal were an embarrassment. They were embarrassing. You go and play against Man United away from home. You get lucky with the win away from home, even though you played badly. Oh, you agree. Big up, Jew. Big up, GT. You go away from home, you get the win. So now you're at home. You're thinking, surely Arsenal are going to put in some form of performance, some level of performance. And they did for 25 minutes. But is that all? Do you know what this game means to the fans? Because I don't feel that they know what this game meant to the fans. They can't have. Because the way they performed, I don't even want to swear. It was like little babies. It was literally like little babies. When Patrice Evra says, Arsenal, they're little babies. That's how we look at them. That is how we performed in this game. Mikel Arteta making 4 subs at once. That is the first sign of acceptance that you got your team selection wrong. You played Jesus, anonymous, first Premier League start in God knows how long, virtually non-existent. Martinez and Maguire, so happy that he played against them. Then we got Zubimendi. Zubimendi for the second goal. He's at fault again. I don't know what he's doing. He's not tackling the man. He's not bringing down the player. The man had his hands in the air. He had his hands in the air like this. If you've seen the Bernie Mac kick Def Jam comedy, you think I'm doing time for any of you motherfuckers. I'll be in court just like this. He shot that motherfucker. So that is what Zubimendi was doing. Instead of putting in a tackle, instead of putting in a foul, instead of doing something, the man just let Dorgu waltz through our centre. For a second time, someone just walks in through our middle and he's crushed it in off the bar. Now, we're hoping for a response. Arteta makes the 4 subs. You're like, okay, let's see how this goes. No, nothing. Nothing until like 85 minutes, where Arsenal actually get a goal from a corner. And that is all we had. Ahmad was right. All we have is corner. Humble yourself, kid. We're all humble today, Arsenal fans. Today and this week. We're humble until we play Leeds. Because there's no point even talking. We got the farmers for Azerbaijan tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to be there, going to the game. But let's be honest. We're playing Azerbaijani farmers. They're plumbers, bricklayers, solicitors. These are not footballers. They don't play full time. They just got in the Champions League. But this is not a full-time team. This is like San Marino level. Literally, this is San Marino level. And Arsenal are playing against them. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in this game. I think Arsenal will win 4-0, but that's not the game that matters. The game that matters is on the weekend, and they have to respond against Leeds United. They must. That is by hook or by crook. I don't even care if it's a corner, if it's off someone's backside, if it's off someone's head. It doesn't matter. If it's off their eye, doesn't matter. You go and get the win. That's what you have to go and do. You go and get the win. You don't mess around in that game, because you messed around. 3 games now, no win. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, and now Manchester United. First time our defense has conceded 3 goals in 4 years. Zubimendi gave away 2 of those goals. Then Like I said, we've equalised. Mikel Merino. Surely you just take the draw. You take the draw at this stage. We've played shockingly. You take the draw. But we couldn't even do that, could we? We couldn't even hold out for a draw at home. We decide to bottle a lead. Once again, running through the middle. It's a ring donut, that centre of the midfield. Now, that doesn't always happen. Don't know if Zubimendi was tired. Obviously, he weren't there for the third goal. Declan Rice, maybe he wasn't used to playing that lone pivot. But once again, no one's closing down these shots. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. This is just the basics of football. Do not let the opponent shoot. It doesn't matter. Unless it's the halfway line. You protect your area. So that means if someone's coming to your area, someone's got to run out and close down the ball. You do not give your opponent a clear shot on goal. Once again, clear shot on goal. Cunha bends into the bottom corner. Bends it in. 3-2 to Manchester United. Game, set, a match. I think every Arsenal fan knew when that third goal went in, there was no coming back. There was no coming. You could have turned off your TV. The game was over. It was done. Kalas. Finished. Done. And this is what's happened a lot this season. This was even the first time Arsenal lost a game scoring the first goal. Every game, it was 26 games, I believe, when Arsenal took the lead, 26 wins, not even a draw. So Arsenal, we know Arsenal, they are extremists. They don't do things in half. It's either feast or famine. Invincibles or unvincible. 9 years without a trophy. Well, now, once again, we're on 5.5. The pressure's mounting up. We're 4 points clear. We're ahead in the semi-final against Chelsea. Anyhow, we don't go through against Chelsea. Hiya. That's going to be a madness. I can't even imagine that meltdown. If Liam Rossini knocks out Arsenal and then beats Man City in the final. Can you imagine if that happened? Can you imagine the amount of tears Arsenal fans will be crying? I can only imagine. There'll be a lot of tears. But at the moment in time, still got a 4-point lead. So it's not a crisis. Just got to sort out 1-2 things, especially the attack. A lot of misfiring attackers. Once again in this game, who even scored for us? Mikel Merino, a false number 9. Someone that was not good enough for midfield, so we threw him up top. And own goal. Own goal. Own goal's our top goal scorer this season. I think he's got about 7. So it's dark. It's horrible, man. It's horrible. Horrible, man. But that's from the Arsenal point of view. Now, Man United, we've got to take a look at Man United. So, Man United, much deserved 3 points. You got to give it to them. You got to give them their 3 points. You got to say, since Carrick's come in, he's worked wonders. 2 games, 2 wins. Man City and Arsenal. You couldn't have had a harder start. You couldn't have. But he seems to have made 1-2 tactical tweaks, went back to basics, 4 at the back. Dorgu, unfortunately, he's out for 10 weeks now. He's pulled the hamstring, but he's got him playing. You got Ahmad looking a threat. You got Mbeumo up top. No problem. They got Sesko, but I think Carrick, he knows ball, man. He knows ball, man. And that's one thing I'll say. Like, he clearly knows ball. As a midfielder, he was elite. He was elite. He's one of the best DMs in Premier League history. Let's just have it right. You got your Carricks. You can say Kante's a DM, maybe. You got your Rodris, Carrick, Makaleli. Vieira's more box to box, but you know where I'm getting at. He was definitely an elite player. And now he's only enhancing his credentials as a manager at Manchester United. Who knows how far we can take this side? And it's just a shame for Man United fans that Amarim's taken them out of all competitions. They're literally out of all competitions. So they ain't even got nothing to play for other than top four. Can you just imagine this version of Man United that just beaten Man United and Man City and Arsenal in a final? They'd fancy their chances of winning. So, yeah, man, I don't know what's going on at Arsenal, man. I mean, sorry. I don't know what's going on at Man United, why they always seem to sack a manager and start to play. It's like a cycle. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Get a new manager bounce, then plummet. But yeah, man. Very promising signs from a Man U perspective. They're now in fourth as well. So you got to look at this as progress. But you don't want to get ahead of yourself. You just take it one game at a time, and maybe, just maybe, they're able to get that top four position. But people, I've given people 1 hour to join. They didn't join to cook me. So you snooze, you lose. I ain't gonna wait for you, mate. But people, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one. Peace. Sugar. The wrong thing once again.